What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen, how to cook. And honey, today we're back in the kitchen with another one of your requested recipe. You wanted me to show you how to make brown stew, oxtail and butter bean in the kitchen my way, fast, easy and simple, and we're about to do just that. Now, if you're here for your very first time and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that, goodie, and turn on your post notifications so that way you will always be the first to be notified whenever your girl upload a brand new video. And you don't know, for all of my returning goodies, and I don't know, so the girl love or not to the max. So ready for cook? Let's cook. Okay, goodies, let's turn up this oxtail and butter bean recipe in the kitchen. The first thing we're going to do is clean the meat, wash the meat. Yes, we'll give the meat a bath. Now, you want to make sure that you have cold running water. You're going to use white vinegar and salt. Of course, you're going to need some lemon. Now, if you don't have lemon here, like I'm doing, use green lime. And if you don't have green lime, just drop in some lemon juice, right? It is going to work just fine. But whatever you do with it, you want to make sure that you clean up this oxtail really nice. Now, the good thing about my oxtail here is that it wasn't fatty, so I didn't have a lot of fat to cut off of it, so I did save a lot of the meat. But however, I want to make sure that my meat is nice and clean. A lot of people always say that you don't need to wash your meat when you're going to cook it because it's already going to be cooked on the stove top, and all of the bacteria going to be cleaned out and all of that. But no, honey, in this kitchen we are going to wash that meat thoroughly from the inside out, upside down. So make sure you wash the meat. All right, now for me, because me is a nerve wreck, I'm going to do this thing twice. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and add some more of that white vinegar in it, add some more of that salt, and I'm just going to go ahead and just cover it up and let it sit for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, I go back in and I do step number 1 all over again. Wash that meat, honey, because let me tell you something. A lot of times when you go to the meat market to buy your meats, sometimes you find some things on that thing, honey, that's not supposed to be there. And if you don't wash your meat, it's going to be in the pot, all right? So make sure, say, you wash your meat. I've had situations, goodie, where I've seen ear in a people's food. You're not going to find ear in my food, okay? Wash your meat thoroughly. Now, after the water is nice and clear, just like this, and the meat's squeaky clean, you're going to go ahead, rinse it off real nice, and now you're going to know that this particular oxtail is nice and clean and ready to be seasoned. Clean meat seasoned with pretty season, all right? So we're going to do that. We're going to move on to the next step right here. All right? You saw the meat nice and pretty? Make sure it's a good, y'all, is thumbsing up the video, all right? Thumbs it up and share girls some love, because when you thumbs up the videos, YouTube is to say love the videos, and then we'll push those videos in a much wider audience, and the channel and this particular video will grow, all right? So let's thumbs up the videos, okay? All right, so the meat nice and white and pretty. That's all you need to have the meat looking just like that. Beautiful. So now we're going to set that aside and we're going to season up the thing. So this is what we're going to do to season up the meat, right? I'm going to need 1 teaspoon of black pepper, because I'm going to walk you through this step by step. All your ingredients. 1 teaspoon of salt. All right, go ahead and put that there. And then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the Ocherious oxtail seasoning, and of course you can use whatever brand that you have. All right, me just addicted to this for some odd reason. So I went ahead and I add 1 tablespoon of the oxtail season to it. Right now, the next thing I'm going to put on my oxtails is my onion powder, and I'm going to add exactly 1 tablespoon of the onion powder. So 1 tablespoon of oxtail season, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, and to that you're going to also add 1 tablespoon of garlic. So you added 1 garlic of tablespoon, 1 garlic of the onion powder, right? We get that right, because your girl gonna write that down below now, so make sure you have your pen and paper. Because I just said there. Now we're going to add our combo seasoning. Now you might say you don't have combo seasoning. Just draw for some all-purpose seasoning. I just, like we say, addicted to Ocheria's products, okay? And they're not promoting this thing here. I just love it. You love what you love, right? 1 tablespoon of that. And I'm also going to add a tablespoon of the paprika. Right? Just throw that all up in there. Give this thing some flavor, honey. Season up this thing real nice. And then I'm going to add some ginger powder. And I am going to add 1 teaspoon of ginger powder. And of course, you could add fresh ginger to it as well. Now, this is my allspice pimento seeds, or pimento berry, as you might call it. We're just going to add 1 teaspoon of that in there as well. In addition to that, we're going in with this browning here, and this is my Grace brand goodie. You can make your browning from scratch using sugar, okay? But we're going the easy way out right here, which is 1 tablespoon of browning. Now, I don't remember if I had told you guys, but I am cooking 2 pounds of the oxtail. Now, you could use your cloves, your garlic cloves. If you're going to do that, use 4 cloves of garlic, all right? But in this case here, I'm using my fast, easy, and simple minced garlic. Tastes just as good. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of that to the mix. All right? I think I'm walking you guys through it. So far, so good, right? Now, all you have to do here is just give it a nice little mix. Just make sure so you get all of the seasonings together really, really nicely. And I did allow it to sit for about 30 to 40 minutes. Because I want the meat to season up nice, right? Have flavor. So I did give it 30 to 40 minutes. Now, of course, if you want, you could give it more time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all in the mind, you know, it's all in the mind. It's not how long you let your meat sit and marinate. It's the spices that you choose to put on your meats. Whatever you cook it have to do with spices, okay? That give it the flavor. So all I did here was 30 to 40 minutes, and I was good to go. Whatever you do, make sure that the seasonings is soaked on and stick on the meat, because, honey child, this is the beginning of your cooking process, all right? Just follow the steps, and you're going to be just fine. Alright, so now that our meat is all nicely seasoned here, we're just going to go ahead and put that aside, and we're just going to move on, right? So, 30 to 40 minutes later, I have my pot here, and you want to be sure to put that meat in your pot when it's hot, right? So I had it maybe about 2 tablespoons of the oil. Now all you're going to do here is put your meat in your pot and separate it, just like I'm doing here, right? And I'm looking for a color. I want, even though you put your browning on it, this process does something extra when you are making this particular recipe. I have several different oxtail recipes, but each and every oxtail recipe that I've uploaded on this channel has a different method of rhythm of cooking to it, okay? Process is always different, but at the end of your cooking, it is going to taste fabulous, all right? So you go ahead and just put your oxtails in and give it about 5 minutes here with your fire at kind of a high heat, okay? 5 minutes only, because you don't want to burn up the thing, you know. 5 minutes later, you go back and you turn it over. As you can see what happens here in 5 minutes, it has a nice little crisp to it on top. Nice little golden brown type of color. That is perfect. You don't want to go all the way in because you don't want to burn it, because it will get bitter and you don't want that to happen. So you go ahead and just turn it on that side, all right, each and every single one, because it also does something to your seasoning as well when you do this step to your oxtail, all right? So just go ahead and just turn them over and give it an additional 5 minutes of cooking time. Same process, and then we come back to the next step. 5 minutes later, you come back. the seasonings that you have, the marinade seasoning, you don't want to throw that out. Just add some water to it, maybe about a cup or so. Throw it on the oxtails, and what you're going to do here is cover it up and give it another 5 minutes just to let that flavor starts to cook the meat and sink into the meat itself. It's going to process the thing real nice, right? So just cover it up for 5 minutes more, and then you come back, and we're going to move on to the next step. Nice. All right, so 5 minutes after that, everything is all good. Now you want to make sure that you're putting hot water onto the oxtail, because if you put cold water to it, it's going to stop the cooking process, and the oxtail is going to take 20 years to cook. Remember, we're doing it on stovetop here. We're not using the pressure cooker. I know that somebody's going to ask me about the pressure cooker method. I do have other recipes where I use the pressure cooker, but if you're going to go that route, give it about 30 minutes in your pressure. All right, now after about maybe an hour and a half, because this oxtail take a while to cook, and I did pour more water on it to get to that step. It took me, my oxtail took me about an hour and a half, maybe more, to cook. But after it was cooked, that's what it looks like. The color is fabulous. The smell is amazing. It is about 90% tender, but not all the way. Now let's talk about our other seasons that we're going to use to finish it up. You're going to need bell pepper and onion, scallion and thyme. I'm using 2 pepper there, but trust me, them not add. Them is a pose up like double six, but them don't add. Garlic, and I'm also going to use a can of stewed tomato. It's going to give it a nice, sweet, natural taste. So delicious when you use that. And I'm using my butter beans here, already cooked in the can, and 1 cup of coconut milk. I'm also going to add some vanilla. Even vanilla. Which vanilla? I'm going to add some vinegar. Yeah, vinegar to it. Alright, because I'm going to cook without that. Now all I'm doing here is putting the seasonings on top of the oxtail, just like so. Alright, let me talk about vanilla. After me now bake. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just pour that in there, just like so. Kind of not to unbutter the meat too much. Just kind of spread it out nicely. You want to make sure you do that. And then I go in and add the stewed tomatoes. If you don't have the stewed tomato, you're fine. Just go ahead and use regular tomato. But the stewed tomato, do something nice to it. By yourself, I can. You can find one for like 70 cents maybe. Alright, now I'm going in with my cooked butter beans, okay? Cooked butter beans. And I'm using, I think it's a Grace brand this. Then I added 1 cup of coconut cream to it. And just kind of move it in the pot just slightly, because you don't want to unbutter those beans too much, because they're going to sink to the bottom of the pot and they're going to stick once the gravy starts to thicken up. So you want to just do that nice and mellow. I did go in and add 1 teaspoon of the apple cider vinegar to it, and just to season those beans up, I just went for a regular seasoning and just sprinkle it on there. Use whatever you have, all-purpose seasoning, oxtail seasoning, whatever you want to put on there, go ahead and put it on there. Now, I did add some ketchup because, honey, this is one Jamaican when I cook without ketchup. I love ketchup. Means a ketchup fanatic, alright? So I just went ahead and just add some ketchup to it. It's going to help me to thicken my gravy up. If you don't want to use ketchup, use tomato paste, alright? Now, after my oxtail was simmered all the way down, it took me about 30 or 40 minutes to simmer down. That is what it looks like. Honey, follow the process, alright? You will not regret it. The oxtails were nice and tender. The vegetables was cooked to perfection. It wasn't soft. You could still see the vegetables. And everything was just blended in nicely. You could smell the aroma from the coconut cream, honey. The oxtail was happy, alright? It was happy goody. It was filled with so much flavor. Now, I do have vegan oxtail. I'm going to go ahead and link that down below, honey, so y'all go follow that recipe, because you know a girl if I want to eat vegan oxtail, you know what I said? You can't want to enjoy the scent, the smell. But nevertheless, oxtail done in the kitchen and oxtail ready for serve up. Thing a bubble, 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 honey. But you know, I had to. You know, I wasn't going to go without putting it on the plate, so at least you guys could see what it looks like on the plate, husband plate. I did make some fried chicken, and I did make plantains and a little bit of rice and peas with a twist. And yeah, look on the oxtail there, Lord have mercy. And I did make some vegetable roll and all them other good things, honey. But anyway, that's it. Dinner done. Nice. Don't forget to share it with all your friends. Tell them what going over here. Bring them, come and say them, come. I'm waiting. After you get done with that, tell me where you want to see me cook next time in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.